The end of an era, packed with heritage and style, the end of the Volkswagen Beetle. It's strange and rather sad to even think about Volkswagen without the Beetle in its lineup. It's the car that really gave them their name. VW have now announced that the last Beetle will roll off the production line next year. After 3 generations over nearly 7 decades, it will evoke a whole host of emotions from Beetle's many devoted fans. It's time to say bye to the Beetle. The latest version of the Beetle definitely merits a review, yet none will compare to the original, as the air-cooled bug hardly needs an introduction. It caused innovation right through the 60s with its fuel economy and looks, yet the bug's characteristic appearance appeared to have been the car's downfall. With an unchanging design, the competition became more efficient, more comfortable, and ultimately a better car. Customers really didn't need to invest in a new Beetle, as they could find something on the used market not that much different to what was available on the showroom floor. After saying goodbye to the classic Beetle, there was a long gap until we saw its return. When VW dropped a concept midway through the 90s, we saw a bubblier, larger take on the iconic bug. They received great feedback and decided to kickstart the bug's life again in 1998. This started a frenzy of retro car returns through the 2000s, like the Mini Cooper and the Ford Mustang. Due to the vehicle's historic reputation, a wave of retro heads helped flood sales from the showroom floor, but as mentioned, this eventually became the car's downfall. That then brings us to this generation, which was first launched in 2012. It was a full redesign and gave us aggressive styling and a range of new engines. It even shared the same 200 brake horsepower engine found in a GTI. The 2019 version marks the 7th year for the hatchback. It really shows why this vehicle has left a mark on the world, yet it also shows why it's time to say bye. On the final edition trim, you will discover a flashier interior and exterior, and that's about it as far as changes go. You will find a lot of chrome inside the interior with 2 new colours to choose from, Stonewash Blue and Safari Uni Beige, which sounds an interesting choice. We saw this colour on the 2003 Ultima edition, which was the last air-cooled bug you could actually buy. The SE version sits on 17-inch multi-spoke wheels, whilst the SEL gets 18-inch retro-style chrome disc wheel covers. Inside both interiors you will find diamond stitch upholstery, with the SE getting cloth and leatherette, whilst the SEL gets full leather. That's as far as changes really go, all mechanical aspects stay the same. The unchanged bug reflects Volkswagen's decision to stop investing in its development a few years ago. We saw a 5-cylinder naturally aspirated engine and a 2-litre turbo engine with 200 brake horsepower. With the final edition trim, you will only be able to select a turbocharged 2-litre 4-cylinder that makes an average 174 horsepower. The powertrain provides a smooth and quiet ride, which gives a nice subtle turbo whistle when given the boot. The way the car performs puts it on par with a Honda Civic and a 2.5 litre Mazda 3, yet it feels a little lethargic and slow compared to them. That's not to say you will get left behind, but don't expect to be pushed back into your seat. The way the gearbox performs is a natural cause for this, giving smooth gear changes over redlining quick shifts. The handling and ride comfort will give resemblance to a Mark 6 Golf due to the aging chassis. This may not be a bad thing, as the Mark 6 had great suspension, managing to soak up all shapes and sizes of bumps in the road. The bug will offer a nicely weighted steering, yet a lack of chassis stiffness will give you lots of roll in the corners. One of the reasons the bug is on its way out is the competition VW itself gives the Beetle. The Golf's boxy stance gives it superior cargo space and will give you 2 extra doors on the rear. With much more up-to-date engineering, the Golf also gives you a smoother ride and will feel a lot more refined when driving. If you are after 2 doors, the Civic Coupe will offer more power with much better fuel economy. You'll also get more space and better driving dynamics. The Civic is definitely the more logical option. Moving later into the 21st century, and we see these retro car makes really starting to struggle. Bar the Mini, the 2-door retro appeal doesn't agree with modern buyers, who want a more aggressive stance and an upmarket infotainment system offered on modern cars. The Fiat 500 is suffering from similar circumstances to the Bug, as in the UK, the SUV market is taking over, and these small types of cars just can't compete. It's why we are seeing larger versions of the small cars, like the Fiat 500 XL for example. After 20 years of the same shape, the Bug has lost its unique styling quirks that it had in 1998 when the world's Beetle fans couldn't resist the rebirth of a great. Yet such demands have dried up, and the automotive industry has moved on. With all the problems with practicality and engineering, the Bug lags way behind modern standards. So VW have laid the Bug to rest with no real way to progress as a vehicle. It gave us a completely different prospect on car design, and I for one have the desire to own one someday. Time has caught up with the beloved Bug, and we will see this car assigned to the history books. Unfortunately for the Bug, we say goodbye. Whilst the automotive industry carries on the road ahead, it's time for the Bug to take its exit.